dancers, welcome to class. Happy to see you all today. Mwah. So today's class is going to be all about balancing out and making sure we have a really healthy IT band. So what is the IT band? It stands for your iliotibial band, and it's not a muscle. It's a very thick band of fascia, of connective tissue that runs from the hip right here, attaches at the tensor fascia lata, kind of at the top right here, runs all the way down the side of the leg, and then attaches at the top of the shin here. So it's connected with the knee, it's connected with the hip. It runs between these two major joints in our body, you know, our pelvis and our hips and our knee. And it's a huge component in stabilizing the leg, stabilizing the knee, making sure that our knee is tracking where it needs to go, you know, not falling in, not falling out, right over the toes. When we're landing in a leap, when we're doing a lunge, anything that's like getting that weight into the knees, bending it, you know, chair pose, even all of that is the IT band working to stabilize. So it's a super important piece of fascia, but it's at risk of injury in the form of tearing because it's not a muscle. It's not meant to be elastic to, you know, stretch out and then come back. With connective tissue, once it's like stretched or strained too far and it starts to get those little microfiber tears, it doesn't really come back from that. So you really want to be mindful that we're protecting the IT band. And so there's a couple ways that the IT band can get injured, and we're going to be working to eliminate both those risks in class today. So the first one is that if your glutes are underdeveloped, they're kind of weak, you haven't put in the work yet to really train them to activate properly, and kind of the muscles surrounding the hip are all a little weak, then that's going to cause the IT band to kind of have to overcompensate, to take that extra strain, whereas, you know, where the butt should be the one like really supporting you here, it's not. And you can do a lunge or something with your butt not being active, and I can feel a lot more strain in the side of my leg here, or you can really activate that glute, activate the quads and the hamstring, and then there's a lot more ease in the side of the leg. So we're gonna be working to strengthen up the booty today so that your glutes are the one taking the work here. They're big muscles, they're meant to work, they're ready to be the powerhouse of your body. But then we're also gonna make sure to stretch them out, make sure that they're nice and supple and easeful, and not just like buttons of steel, just like super clenched, because that can also put you at risk for the same thing. If all these muscles around here are just like super tight, they are going to pull on the IT band, which is then gonna pull on the knee. And we don't want that. This is all about knee health and making sure that our knee is in good alignment here. So it'll be a good balance of stretching and strengthening. And then just one more thing I want to note, just for your own time, for your own self-care practices, is that I see a lot of dancers foam rolling on their IT band. And I would say maybe not do that. Foam rolling is great, all about it, great for the fascia, but I would say do it on the muscles, do it on your quads and your hamstrings and your glutes to loosen up the surrounding muscles so that they can kind of loosen their grip on the IT band rather than on the IT band itself, because remember, it's a connective tissue, not muscle. So it's a lot better to loosen up the muscles surrounding it rather than kind of grinding into it, because that can kind of crunch into it or even make it a little more inflamed if it's already feeling a little tight and tense. So just something to keep in mind there. But let's grab some water and hop on the mat. All right guys, so let's all meet up at the top of the mat, get right into the flow. So standing in Tadasana with your feet right under your hips, toes spread on the floor, tailbone drawing down to the floor, pubic bone and lower abs drawing up. Crown of the head reaches towards the ceiling as the feet and the footprint melt into the floor, relaxing the shoulders down. See if you can really plug in through all four corners of the feet, from the knuckles of the toes to the back ankle, making sure that you're not rolling in or out, but you're right in the center, weight evenly distributed. Closing the eyes for a moment to take a second to really tap into the body, to come into the present moment. Breathing in and out through the nose with a slight constriction at the back of the throat so that your breath sounds like an ocean wave. Breathing with the diaphragm, letting your lower ribs expand with an inhale and drawing them back in towards your spine as you exhale. Just deciding for yourself right now that this time and this practice is for you to take care of your body, to love your body, this beautiful vessel that we are each gifted for our time here on earth. Setting the intention right now that everything we do in this practice is for the longevity of your health, the sustainability of your career, and to be able to move and express yourself in a creative way through dance for the rest of your life. Sending lots of gratitude for your body, just checking in, maybe seeing where you are feeling a little tight today, where the breath is not moving so easily, and where you're feeling nice and open. With an inhale, sweeping your arms up to the sky, interlacing the fingers, drawing up, and exhaling over to the right. Pressing your pelvis over to the left, opening up the side body. And here, see if instead of sticking your pelvis back, if you can really get it right underneath your heart so you've still got that nice alignment. Drawing down through the tailbone. Inhale back to the center. Exhale, stretching over to the left, sticking your hips over to the right, keeping your pelvis right under the heart. Opening up the right side body here. See if you can feel that stretch from your wrists all the way down to your ankles. Inhale back to the center, arching back, stretching through the front body. Exhale, diving forward, taking a forward fold. Shake your head out no when you get to the bottom. Breathing all the way down your back, just letting some tension go, just sending some gratitude to your body. And then pulling the core into the spine as you roll back up one vertebra at a time, opening up that back line of fascia. Beautiful. We're gonna get right into activating the glutes. Inhaling, reaching the arms up as you sink the hips back, bending at the knees for chair pose. So really pulling the core in here, and then check in with your feet and your knees, making sure your knees are tracking right over the feet, that they're not falling in or out. Your weight is evenly distributed. And then to really make sure that the glutes are on, you want to imagine you could rip your mat apart, pulling out towards the side, but still keeping those knees tracking over the toes. You should really feel your outer glutes and legs activate here. Hands to heart. Weight is in the heels, but your toes are still grounded here. Feel this in your body. Connect that muscle to mind memory here. Inhaling the arms up to the sky. Exhale, taking a twist. So we're gonna hook the left elbow over the right knee, but really press that knee into the elbow. Really make sure that right glute is active here, toes relaxed on the floor. From here, picking your left foot off the floor to balance on the right. And extend that left leg back, coming into a twisted lunge here, recentering yourself, keeping that outward motion over to the right side, staying active in that right glute. Opening up into a twist here, open your arms. And then inhaling, arms up through the front here. So here in this lunge, it's really important that we're not, just arching super hard and just letting the hips sink. So that's gonna put a lot of pressure on the low back. So we really wanna be stabilized and staying healthy through our sacrum. So try to find that neutral pelvis again with the tailbone drawing down, front of the pubic bone drawing up, squaring off your your hips. Right hip back, left hip forward, engaging the glutes. Beautiful, plant your hands, stepping back into a plank, pulling the core in, finding length in the spine. We're gonna move through a vinyasa here. So inhale, come forward. Exhale, drawing the elbows in towards the body, lower down. Inhale, upward dog with your knees and hips off the floor, pressing into the ground with your shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, pulling the core in to lift the hips up and back. Walking it out through your legs. Shaking the head no. Just taking a moment to stretch in downward dog. If you're someone with hypermobile knees, have a little micro bend in the knees so that the stretch is going into the muscles and not the joints. Beautiful, inhale, sweeping that right leg up to the sky. Exhale, stepping it forward once again into that lunge. Squaring off the hips, squeezing and drawing the inner thighs together. Spread your toes on the floor and see if you can really pull up through the arch of your foot. Getting that knee right over the ankle, sweeping the arms up. So make sure that your glutes are holding you up here, that they're giving you that stability and support. Exhaling, opening up into warrior two, really pressing open through the knee here, getting that outward rotation, grounding down through the outer edge of the back foot, drawing the inner thighs up together to lift up and out of the pelvis, extending the arms. Taking a few breaths here. Inhale, reaching forward, up and back. Make sure that right glute is still on. Maybe give it a little squeeze. Make sure that it's giving you support. Exhale, planting that right hand on the floor, reaching the left arm forward for side angle. Feeling that heat being built in the body. Opening up, straightening that leg for triangle here. So in triangle, first of all, making sure that we're not locking into the knee, keep that little micro bend, and then making sure we're not rolling in or out on the foot, but that we're grounding down, especially through the front knuckles of the feet here. And then you don't want to be sticking your booty back. You want your hips to be right in line with your torso. And then you're also not collapsing here. You're staying nice and long, reaching the crown of the head and tailbone away from each other. And then breathe. I know that's a lot to focus on, but I have faith in you as a dancer that you're already used to being really aware of all the different components of your body. Breathing here. And then keep that little bend in your knee. Activate the glutes. Make sure the right glute is working to give you that support to float up. Lift off that bottom hand. Take a twist. And gently placing the other hand on the floor, coming into a revolved triangle. And then here, making sure you're staying grounded through that outer edge of the back foot. It's really easy to roll in on your arch here. Don't put that strain on your knee. Weight in the outer edge. And then taking that right hip, that front hip, and drawing it back. Again, almost trying to square off those hips to get that length in the side body. Stretching the arm up to the sky, long neck here, and breathe. Letting the breath open your body into this pose. Beautiful, planting that right hand, turning in that back foot, bending through the front leg to come into that nice strong lunge. Once again, squaring off the hips, squeezing the inner thighs together, squeezing the glutes. Inhale, reach up tall. Exhale, you're gonna tilt forward, swinging your arms behind you, reaching them back. And then inching forward so your weight is on that front leg. You're gonna lift that back leg off to come into a bent leg warrior three. So pulling the core in, left glute is working, legs are parallel here. Making sure that front knee is really tracking forward, that it's not falling in or out. Weight evenly distributed through all four corners of the feet. Right glute active, giving you that strength to press into the floor, and exhale to stand up nice and strong. Yeah, energy going down through that right glute. Step back, grounding into the floor. Melting your feet into the floor, finding that rooting energy, connecting in with the earth. Turning out that left leg, coming into a figure four, so it's gonna look like this. Get that ankle right above the knee, so we're not putting any pressure on the knee. Inhaling the arms up. Exhale, bending the right knee, sinking the hips back, staying mindful of where the knee is tracking. And then here, right glute nice and active. Let the left one open here, getting a little hip opening, a little stretch into the left glute. Finding a point to gaze at on the floor in front of you to focus on. You can stay here, or if you're feeling a little frisky today, plant your hands on the floor, really spread those fingertips, plug them in, and get that shin of the left knee up onto your upper arms. Lean your weight forward for an arm balance here. Really pressing into the floor, but only do it if you can stay steady with your breath. Ooh, it's hard to talk to you guys in this. All right, putting that foot down, and then crossing that left leg over the right, coming into a cross-legged forward fold. Shaking your head out, no. And then relaxing over those legs. Staying mindful here that you're not locking into your knees. Bring your weight into the front of your feet here, into the ball of your foot. Relaxing in the shoulders, relaxing in the jaw. Yeah, so we just did a lot of right glute activation. So that is what you want to be thinking about when you're in class. Say you're in a modern class doing a lot of floor work, lunges, or maybe you're doing some grand allegro in ballet. You always want to be thinking about using your glutes to give you stability rather than your calves or your ankles, so that your knee can really track where it needs to go and you're not at risk of tearing something in your knee. Rolling back up one vertebra at a time. Rolling your shoulders back. So strong. Such warriors. Let's do the other side. Time to get that left side nice and strong here. Tadasana at the top of your mat. Again, grounding into through all four corners of the feet. Pulling up through the arch, like you could really draw some energy up from the earth. Pulling up on the kneecaps through the top of the quads here. Inhaling the arms up. Exhaling, sinking the hips nice and low. Weight in the heels, toes grounded. Pulling your mat apart. Get those active glutes in the outer leg. Pulling the core in, really long spine here. So you don't want to be curling in like this, but really keeping that length. Inhale, reaching the arms up. And exhale, taking a twist, hooking that right elbow over the left knee. So you want to press the knee into the elbow here. Don't let the elbow make the knee fall in. Keep that outward, stabilizing, nice strong action here. Nice, and then once you've got that, shift your weight into the left leg. Keeping that glute activation going nice and strong, tracking the knee over the foot as you extend that right leg back. And then lower it down, coming into a twisted lunge. So trying to square off your hips, left hip back, right hip forward, squeezing the inner thighs together. Nice and strong here. Check in with your front knee. Where is it? Is it right over your ankle? And then opening up the arms, really feeling that twist. Inhale. Exhale, release. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Sinking low into that lunge, and then find that neutral pelvis again. So just like as if we were standing, just stepping that leg back. So you might have to bend the back leg a little bit. Find that neutral pelvis using your lower core to really draw that front pubic bone up, and then extend that back leg. Exhale, plant the hands. Stepping back into a nice strong plank here. Lengthen the spine, pulling the core up. Exhale, vinyasa, lower down. Inhale, upward dog. Reaching the crown of the head up towards the ceiling rather than letting your head drop back. Pulling the core in to initiate the hips, lifting up to the ceiling. Shaking making the head no here. Take a moment to walk out through the feet. Beautiful. Sweeping the left leg up, getting a nice stretch as you inhale. And exhale, stepping it forward. Coming back into that nice strong lunge. Squaring off the hips. Left glute active. Pulling the core in and reaching the arms up. Shoulders relaxing away from the ears, so the tension should be in the glutes here and the legs. And then where can you soften? Where can you release unnecessary tension? Exhaling, opening up into warrior two, grounding down through that outer leg, pressing open through the front leg. Get those rotators going a little bit. Squeezing the inner thighs together to really draw that energy up from the earth, lifting it up through the spine and shooting it out through your fingertips. Breathing here, staying with your breath, reaching up and back. And exhale, planting that left hand as you reach the right arm forward for side angle. Draw that right shoulder away from the ear, pressing into the floor with the left hand to stay lifted out of that left shoulder. And then from here, slowly easing your way into triangle, making sure that you're not locking into the knee. Getting those hips rather than sticking them back, bring them forward. Grounding down through all edges of the feet evenly, not rolling in on the arch. And long torso. Inhaling and then squeezing that left glute, make it nice and active with a little tiny bend in the front leg so that you can float off. Take that twist through the torso and place the other hand down. Now ground down through the outer edge of the back foot here so that we're not rolling in on the arch, okay? Healthy knees. And then taking that left hip and drawing it back, trying to square off the hips a little bit. You might have to bring that back leg in a little bit so that you can stay grounded through the outer edge and try to square off the hips. So notice how we're getting a nice stretch through this outer leg here, a little bit through the quads, a little bit through the hamstrings. Loosening up those muscles surrounding the IT band. Nice, plant the hand down, turning in the back leg, and coming into that lunge again, squaring off the hips. Glutes active, reaching the arms up. With an exhale, tilting forward to reach those arms back for airplane arms. And then shifting your weight forward into that front leg, keeping it bent. As you lift the right leg off, keeping the back flat, legs parallel, point your toes and breathe. Left glute active. And with your next exhale, pressing into the floor to press up nice and strong with your left glute. Not locking into the knee here. Energy shooting down from the left glute down into the floor. And then as you press into the floor, growing nice and tall through the spine. Turning out that right leg, taking the figure four. Yeah, and then sweeping the arms up. Exhale, sinking the hips back. Check in with that knee, check in with your feet. Are you rolling out? Are you rolling in? Is the left glute active? And then relaxing in the right glute, really let it open, get that stretch. And then breathe, centering yourself on the breath. Staying here, or if you wanna play around with an arm balance, plant your hands. Get that right shin on top of the legs, flex that right foot, and shifting your weight forward. This is much more of a how you can distribute your weight than purely arm strength. And setting it down, straightening that left leg, crossing the right leg over for a cross-legged forward fold. Bringing your weight into the ball of your feet so that you're not locking into your knees. Relaxing through the back of the neck and the shoulders. Taking a moment to breathe and center yourself on the breath. Beautiful, uncrossing the legs. Stepping back into a downward facing dog. Shake out the head, no, shoulders away from the ears. And exhale, dropping your knees to the floor, taking a cat-cow on your own breath rhythm. Beautiful. All right, we're gonna move into the real booty strengthening. That was just the warm-up, but still very important work. So these next few exercises, few really important things is to one, we're gonna be working a lot in this plane, so we wanna make sure we're not dropping in the back, but that the core is really pulling up, almost pushing up into the low back to keep it nice and flat, long spine. And then we really want the work to, we're gonna be doing a lot of like leg lifting stuff. So I don't really want to work in a too much of a turned out position here. I know it's probably really counterintuitive if you're a dancer, but just trust me, we're just trying to build the booty muscles right now to protect the knees. So trying to really keep the hips squared and then moving with the breath. Don't forget to breathe, using your exhale to really contract the core, to really pull it up, to activate the glutes. And then if at any point you feel like you can't keep the form and keep going, just take a moment, back out of it and breathe. It's really more about quality of the movement than quantity. So listen to your body at all times, and form is way more important than how many you end up doing. So let's get to it. All right, so coming onto your hands and knees into a nice strong tabletop position here. We are going to start with the left leg extended out behind, right arm drawing forward. So this 50-50 tabletop plank here. And again, really not sinking into the low back pressing up nice and strong, flat back, making your glute have to work a lot harder. There's no cheating in this one. This is a great exercise for strengthening your spine as well. Inhaling to expand, exhale, drawing the elbow knee together, pulling the core up. Inhale, lengthen, keep that low back flat. Exhale, contract. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, contract. Inhale, flat back, long spine. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, expand. Exhale, contract. Inhale, plant that right arm down, keeping the left leg up. We're gonna tap and lift, tap, lift. 10, low back flat. 8, 7, working from the glute. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keeping that leg up. Turning to the side, get your right shin parallel to the back of your mat. Long legs here. You're gonna inhale to reach, exhale to cross arm and leg. Inhale, reach, exhale, cross. Inhale, reach, exhale, cross. Keep that leg where it is, reach the arm up. You're gonna tap, 2, 3, working from the outer glute, 4, 5, pressing into the floor with that right hand, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Keeping that leg up, coming back to face the center, tucking the back toe, coming into a nice strong plank with that left leg still lifted. We're gonna do a little leg rainbow, so tapping opposite corners of your mat. So 1, 2, keeping the back as flat and long as you can. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4 more, 9, 10, working from the glute, 11, 12. Beautiful, coming down, extending that left leg out to the side, turn that foot out with the toes reaching up towards the ceiling. Exhale, sinking your hips back to your heels. Sending your breath down the entire length of your spine. Opening up through the inner thigh here. Beautiful, coming back up on an inhale, swinging that left leg around as you come to sit on your booty here. So knees are trying to stack on top of each other. Obviously, if you're more like this, that's fine, but really trying to stack the knees here and then grounding down through the sits bone. So don't let yourself be coming too far forward. Keep that butt grounded. Growing up tall in the spine, up to you if you'd like to stay here, or for a little more outer glute stretch, you can come up onto your knees and try to get your hips straight. Some of you might have really much more flexible hips than I, and you can be like all the way up. But if you're here, like even that is fine as long as you're getting some good sensation through this outer area of your hips here. And just breathe, just enjoy the stretch for a moment. Catch your breath. Or sink back down if that feels good. Beautiful, then uncrossing the legs and come back to tabletop, doing the other side. I'm gonna flip around here. All right, so finding that nice neutral tabletop, pulling the core up and in, and extending that right leg, keeping the back flat. So really the hard part is extending back out and making sure you don't come into this position, but instead extending there, yeah? So you should really be working to get that leg out every time. This is not easy, especially if you do it nice and slow. So right leg off, left arm up, flat back, exhale to contract. Inhale to extend, exhale, draw in. Inhale, extend, exhale. Inhale, flat back, exhale, curl. Inhale, extend, exhale, contract. Whew, hard to talk to you guys while I do this. Extend, contract. Last one, make it count. Extend, keep the leg up, plant that other hand, tap for 12, 11, keeping your flat back here, 10, lifting from the glute, 9, 8, you're almost tucking your pelvis a tiny bit here to get that low back flat, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep it up. Turning to the side. Reach that right arm. Exhale, cross. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, cross. Inhale. Exhale, cross. Keep that leg where it is. Reach that right arm up and tap for 12. Not 10. 12, 10. What is my counting? 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Keep it strong through the outer glute. 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep it up. Returning back to face the front. Tucking the back toe. Lifting up to a nice strong plank. Crossing to opposite corners. For 1, 2, keep your back flat. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Nice from here. Dropping your knees down, extending that right leg out, turn it out, toes up. Sinking your hips back to your heels. And breathing. Letting your body soften to the mat. Catching your breath here. Sending that fresh oxygen, rejuvenation to your muscles. Beautiful. With an inhale, coming back up. Sinking onto that left glute and swing that right leg around, trying to stack the knees on top of each other here. Grounding down through your sits bones, growing up tall in the spine. You can stay here on your booty or press up onto the knees. And the farther out you have your legs, the more intense it's gonna be. The closer you have them in together, the less intense it'll be. So choose your level, listen to your body. And then wherever you are breathing, relax the shoulders, give them a little shimmy. And then sinking back down, uncross the legs, coming back onto all fours. You're gonna lower down onto your belly. So do some locust lifts, and here you wanna keep your legs together. It's way easier to have your legs spread. Try to keep them together. Try to zip up your legs like a zipper. So bringing your arms behind you, you're gonna inhale, lift the arms and legs off. This is really good to practice if you wanna get some nice arabesques. And drop. Inhale, lift. Draw the legs together. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift, squeezing, lift up an inch higher. Shoulders away from the ears. And drop. 2 more, lift. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Make sure both glutes are working equally. Exhale, release. Last one, inhale, lift. And exhale, drop. Bringing your hands in front of you, kind of stack your hands on top of each other. Bring your knees out and feet together. A little turned out position here. We're gonna do pressing the toes together. You're gonna squeeze the glutes to lift off. Little grasshopper lift here. So really trying to turn out here, working those deep rotators, working the booty. We've got 20. Pulse up for 1, 2, 3, 4, you got it, 5, 6, pressing the feet together, 7, 8, make sure both glutes are working evenly, 9, 10, halfway there, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, hold, lift your arms up, feel your strength, feel alive, exhale, release. Breathing deeply, pressing up and back, take a child's pose. Expanding into the back body, expanding behind the heart, into the low back. Coming forward, onto hands and knees, tuck your toes. Lift your hips up and back, shake the head no. Walking out through the legs. Beautiful, extend the left leg up to the ceiling. Exhale, stepping it forward, taking that lunge again. Nice strong lunge. Squaring off the hips, left glute active. Inhaling the arms up. So find that good position. We're trying to really train it into the body. I know we've done this one like 4 times in this class already, but it's super important. And with an exhale, bringing your hand to the floor, squaring off the hips as you straighten the front leg, really nice and slow. Make sure you're not just locking into that knee. Grounding down through the front of that right toe, and then front of these toes kind of right in your knuckles, and then pulling up through the arch. Squaring off the hips here. Shake your head no, getting a stretch through the hamstrings. Send your breath to the back of the leg. See if on an inhale you can expand. And exhale, soften. Inhale, coming forward into that lunge and dropping the back knee, coming into a low lunge. But same principle here, getting that knee right over the ankle, really seeing where that knee is tracking, squeezing the inner thighs together, arms up. Exhale, hands down, shift your hips back, straighten that front leg. Flexing your foot here, but making sure you're not sickling in, winging out a little bit. And then here to really get into that outer leg, take a twist. Ooh, yeah, and if you're really working to square off your hips here, you'll get a great stretch through the outside of this left leg. Exhale, come forward, heel toe walk that foot to the edge of the mat, sinking your hips low for lizard. And in this lizard, now we're gonna roll onto that lateral edge of the foot here. You see I'm rolling out just a little bit. And then bend that back leg to reach around and hook that back foot. I I like to do this down on my forearm. Getting a stretch through the quads, opening through the hips, really taking that twist, pressing into the ground through that right elbow to lift up and out of the shoulder. Beautiful, releasing that, coming forward, coming up onto your hands, tucking the back toe to lift it off. And then you're gonna extend that left leg across over to the right side. Reach that right arm up for dancing starfish here. Exhale, plant that hand. And then from here, keeping your legs as they are, you're just gonna sink your hips down to the floor here, yeah? So you can choose to stay up on your toes if you like, or let that foot relax. And then twisting, so there's a lot of twisting going on, getting your heart facing the front of the mat. Now exhale, ripple down. Inhale, press up. Exhale, ripple down. Inhale, press up. Exhale down all the way, making a little pillow for yourself with your hands. You can even reach that right arm towards the left foot if you'd like. Just allowing yourself to melt to the floor, letting all the fascia surrounding the hip and the leg to soften. Beautiful, bringing your hands back in, pressing up. Tuck that back toe to lift the knee off. Lifting the hips up just enough so you can bring that left leg in for pigeon. Yeah, so really trying to square off the hips here. If this is hurting your knee at all, you can always flex and wing that front foot. That should take some of the pressure off. But before we just melt into pigeon, we're gonna do a little dynamic mobility pigeon stretch here. So, building that balance of strength and flexibility in the glutes. Arms out to the side. You can have one hand down on the floor if you need that extra support, but I encourage you to try them with arms off. Squeeze the glutes. You're gonna inhale to lengthen and lower, coming to hover. Exhale, squeeze to lift. Inhale. Exhale, keeping the spine long. Inhale. Exhale. Press. This one, triple. Inhale. Exhale. And now melting down, relax into the pose. You're really breathing into your diaphragm, expanding into the low ribs and belly as you inhale. Exhale, let it soften. And we're doing this so that we can really help the psoas muscle. Even though we really haven't focused too much on it today, it's a very important muscle. Letting those hip flexors relax and soften. Beautiful, pressing back up onto your hands, tucking the back toe, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Beautiful, when you're ready on your next inhale, sweeping the right leg up to the sky. Exhale, bringing it through, stepping into a lunge, squaring off your hips, squeezing the inner thighs together, grounding down through the foot, arms off. Again, just getting that mental screenshot in your body of how this feels. Relaxing the shoulders down, glutes active. Exhale, hands to the floor, straightening that front leg, squaring off the hips, grounding down through the front ball of that foot. A little tiny micro bend in the knee. Inhale, coming forward into the lunge, and then dropping the back knee down. Untuck that toe if you'd like. Getting that knee right over the ankles, squaring off the hips if you can. Core drawing in, tailbone down, pubic bone drawing up, arms up. Giving your body that stability, that support, shoulders relaxed. Exhale, hands forward. forward, hips back, flex and wing that front foot. Squaring off the hips, see if you can really get a flat back here. I know it's tempting to just like round here, but see if you can really square off the hips and get that flat back. That'll help you just in the future if you practice this often to get splits with squared hips. Better grand battements. Mounting over that leg. And then taking the twist, really drawing that front hip back. Twisting into it. Breathe into the sensations. Embrace the pose. Inhale, coming forward. Heel toe walking that leg out and rolling onto the outer edge. Then bending that back knee. Come down onto your forearm if you'd like. Really getting a nice lizard here. Letting your hips sink down. Breathing deep, send your breath into your body. Beautiful, releasing that, coming back onto your hands, tucking the back toe to lift the knee off, and extend that right leg over to the left side here, and then lifting that left arm off for dancing starfish. Exhale that hand back down, and then keeping the legs as they are, just sink the hips to the floor, yeah? You can keep that back leg off the ground, or let it relax down. Taking a couple ripples here, exhaling down, inhaling up, exhale down, inhale up, and exhale down now. Coming onto the floor, you can reach for that foot with the left hand if you'd like. Remembering to breathe. Planting your hands on the floor, pressing back up. Lifting up off the floor just enough so you can scoot that leg over, really open up the hip for pigeon here. All right, so find your pigeon. Glutes active here, arms off. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lift. Inhale to hover, core in. Exhale, press up. Inhale. Last one. Beautiful, now melting down. Enjoying this stretch. Beautiful, coming back up. You're just gonna swing that back leg around now, coming into Dandasana here, grounding down through the sits bones, spine growing up tall, reaching that right arm up, exhale forward, reaching for the inside arch of the left foot, pulling the core in. You're gonna come up nice and strong here. Taking that left arm forward, and then exhale, reaching it back for a twist, getting a stretch through this outer leg here. Shoulders down, core strong, and breathe. So really strong in the core so you can expand outwards through all limbs, through the arms and legs, through the crown of the head. Exhale, facing the front again, bend that left foot. See if you can bring that foot into the crease of your hip here. If it can only come here, that's fine. But I'm gonna try and bring mine up here, and then reaching that left arm around and back behind you to reach for that left toe. So a little yoga pretzel here. And then reaching the right arm up, exhale, folding over that leg. See if you can really allow your right quad to soften here, embracing the weight of your left foot on it for a little myofascial release here. letting the left hip open and soften towards the floor. Relaxing the shoulders. You can begin to allow the body to release and soften. The work part is done, and now we just get to enjoy some stretching and just allow everything to integrate into the body. Inhale, lengthen to lift. We're gonna plant that left foot outside of the right foot, kind of shift onto the outer edge of your right butt. Right arm behind you, inhaling, pressing up, reaching that left arm forward. So we're going for a stretch through the outer edge of this this left leg here. Exhale, lower down. Uncross the legs, coming back to that seated, tall position here. Inhale the left arm up. Exhale forward, reaching for the inner edge of that right foot. And then pulling the core in, give your spine that support to lift off nice and strong. Find that length and twist, looking over the back shoulder. Breathing here, really finding that length, reaching out through the crown of the head, shoulders down. And with an exhale, facing the front, bend that right leg. See if you can get that foot in the hip crease here. And then reaching that right arm forward, around and back for the foot. And then reaching that left arm up to exhale over that leg. With every exhale, softening into the pose, seeing where you can release unnecessary tension in the body or the mind. What can you let go of or soften so that you can be even more in the present moment? Inhale to lengthen to lift. Shifting over to the left side, plant that right foot on the floor, plant that left hand behind you, and inhale, press up. Pressing into the ground to lift through the hips. And then exhale, coming down. Beautiful, bring your legs in front of you. Just letting your knees rock side to side, giving your booty a little massage out with your own body weight here. Oh yeah, feels really good. Thank your booty, booty, you're the best. Thank you for being so strong. And then rolling down onto your back, giving yourself a little squeeze here, giving yourself a hug, giving your back a little massage on the floor. Beautiful. Now we're gonna take a reclined figure four. So crossing that left ankle over the top of the right quad, turning out through that leg, reaching your arms through the center, and pulling that leg into your body. I like to use my left elbow here to kind of press that left knee out just a little more, getting a little more rotation. And then soften where you can, relax. Feel the support of the earth below you. Beautiful. From here, so you're gonna release your hands, and then keeping your legs in this exact position, you're just gonna bring the left sole of the foot over to the floor as you come into a twist here. And then I like to use my right hand to kind of hold the ankle here so my feet don't slide down. And then twisting open. Breathing slow and relaxed here. Telling your nervous system that it's time to relax and rejuvenate through your nice, slow breath. Knowing that you decide what kind of experience you're going to have in every moment with your breath. You can decide if you're going to have a distracted, stressed out experience, if your breath is really shallow and fast, or if you're going to have a relaxing, present, peaceful experience by letting the breath be slow and calm. Beautiful. Returning back to the center, uncross the legs, and switching sides. Right leg on top of left now, reaching arms through the center, and pulling that left leg towards the body. Use that right elbow to press the right leg open a little bit more if you'd like. Breathing nice and slow here. And then exhale, taking that twist, bringing the sole of the right foot to the floor. Relaxing here, relaxing behind the heart, in the neck and shoulders and jaw. And then returning back to the center. Reaching for the outer edges of the feet for happy baby, letting the knees draw down to the floor and hips open. If you'd like, you can straighten your legs here for a little more of a middle split stretch if that feels good. I'm not going to because there's a little wall right here, but do what feels good for you in this pose. You can open your legs, or maybe you'd want to draw the soles of your feet together and draw those towards your body. You can rock side to side. Beautiful, and then we're just gonna take one last pose before Shavasana here. You can either have your legs just up in the air and relaxing here, or if you've got the core strength, to lift up into a shoulder stand, bringing your hands to the low back for support. Go for that. It's always nice to do an inversion at the end of the practice. Let gravity reverse its flow. You can shake out your legs here if you'd like. Feels really nice. Let all the muscles really soften. Gives the heart rate a chance to slow down, allows the nervous system to relax. This is a really good pose for detoxification. One last breath here before gently, mindfully lowering back down. And then make your way into a comfortable resting position here. Arms resting by your sides. Giving the side of your booty a little rub here, just thanking it for all its hard work, and then bringing your hands to the front of the hips to massage the front of the hips and the hip flexors. And then relaxing. And do a little conscious relaxation here. So try to stay present. And if your mind begins to wander, without judgment, just observing, just seeing, with a gentle curiosity where your brain is going, where it's spending its energy. And then see if you can just bring yourself back to the body, back to the breath. Bringing your awareness to the palms of your hands and the soles of your feet. Letting them soften completely. And then bringing your awareness to your shoulders and to your hips. Letting them melt fully into the floor. Bringing your awareness to your elbows and knees. sending them warmth and love. Bringing your awareness to your belly, letting it gently rise with an inhale and gently fall with an exhale. Allowing your entire body to relax and to release. Knowing that you deserve deep rest and compassion. And that the Shavasana is always the most important part, allowing all the hard work we just did to integrate into the body, to let it reprogram our nervous system and rewire new connections from the mind to the body. Begin to deepen your breath. Take a nice full inhale. As you stretch the arms up overhead, point your toes, reach the fingers, and then wiggle your fingers and toes. Exhale, relax. Oh, wow. Bending your knees, giving yourself a little hug, or just moving in any way that feels good for you. Before rolling onto one side and taking your time to gently press your way up into a comfortable seated position. Letting the pelvis ground down into the floor. Relaxing the shoulders and drawing up tall through the crown of the head. Finish off the practice all together, reaching the arms up, gathering in all the goodness, love, compassion, support that you need for your day. Uniting the palms and drawing them to the third eye. May we see clearly and trust our intuition. Drawing the thumbs to the lips, may we speak words of kindness and truth. And finally, drawing the hands to the heart. May we act with love and compassion towards ourselves and others. Namaste. Thank yourself for working so hard. Give yourself a little hug. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Feel free to reach out at any time if you have any questions about alignment or injuries or yoga in general. I'm here to support you on your journey. Subscribe, stay tuned, got new videos, new classes coming every week. Much love, y'all. See you later.